Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Inked Reader. Today I am doing my February TBR. I have explained in a video which I'll link down below and up here what I am going to do this year in terms of my TBR, but basically I am doing like a random shelf TBR. So we're going to pick a random number. It's going to correspond to one of my shelves and I'll show you that shelf, how it looks when it's properly done, and then I'm gonna go through the books I've already read or the ones that I will have to read, and then we'll go through the synopsis. I'm not gonna go through the rules again just because it would take too much time and I've done a whole video with them. However, I might touch upon them while going through the books. And also this month, because I forgot in January, so apologies for that, I do have 3 graphic novels / manga that I wanna read. I'm gonna though go through them at the end. I'm gonna try and put tabs in because in case someone is not interested in them. I aim to read at least 3 graphic content a month, and I did in January, you're gonna see, but I didn't put them in my TBR because I've forgotten, but this month I remember. So without further ado, you're gonna see that behind me the shelf that was picked in January is still in disarray because I have still to film my January wrap up and do it again, so apologies. I know it triggers me. Also my photos, the plant is going everywhere. Without further ado, let's choose a random number and let's start. I'm excited. Although February is a busy month, I am starting a new job. I am also going away for a whole weekend and it's my birthday at the end of the month, and also it's a short month in general, so I'm really hoping that the weather shelves come up, it's not gonna be too massive a TBR. So we have 21 shelves that we can choose from, and I still have to learn how to record my own screen, although I'm using my old phone, but I got a new one, so I might just try and figure it out. But as of now, I'm just gonna show you like this. So I put 1 and 21, and then I'm gonna generate a random number, and you're gonna see before me. Okay, let me see. Can you see that fully? It's number 1. Okay, let me see. I need to go and check. I think it's up there. I think it's the first shelf up there, which is a lot of unread books. I can already tell. So shit. Okay, this is shelf number 1. This is how it looks like before I dismantle it, basically. And these are kind of my beige / brown pinkish books. To be fair, I have read many of the ones that are in here, so I thought it was actually worth, and it's probably gonna be. I'm gonna remove the objects, stuff that I got around, and then we're gonna go through the books properly. I'll need the stairs though. Give me 1 second because I'm very short. Okay, so this is how the shelf looks like with the objects, and I apologize because Batman was not actually supposed to be there. So let's go through. I'll show you the books and see if I've read it or not. So first of all, we have Memories of a Geisha. I've not read these, but I have watched the movie and I found this recently in a charity shop, and I did like the cover, so I picked it up, and this will have to be read. Then we have the Lonesome Dove. I've read these. This is a Western book, and I think there are sequels that I want to get my hands on them sooner or later, but as of now, these I've read. And then we have The Blade Itself, and I've read these by Joe Abercrombie, the start of a new series by him. And on the same note, we have The Last Argument of Kings, which is the 3rd book in the series. However, one of the rules was that I don't have to read a book in a series if I'm not to that point in the series. So these, I won't have to read these basically because I've not read the 2nd book. Then we have The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. I've not read these, so this is gonna have to go on my to be read. But also, it's gonna be my first Donna Tartt. I would have preferred to have started with what is it called? Oh, I cannot think about it, but it'll come up. But apparently it's not gonna be. It's gonna be this one. Also Creepy Dolls, which I don't do creepy dolls, but also sounds more horrorish. So hopefully I love this. Then we have Ugly Love, Colleen Hoover. I've read these ages ago, so I don't have to read these. Then we have One Tiny Lie. This is one of my favorite new adult romances ever. It's part of a companion series. I've already read these, of course, as I would not know it was one of my favorite otherwise. Joe Abercrombie, The Heroes. This is book number 4 / the start of a new companion series or to the Blade itself, if I remember correctly. And of course, I'm not up to this point yet. The Book Thief. I have read these for Reading Challenge, and yeah. Haha, Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. I've not read these, and this is start of a massive fantasy series where you got different trilogies and quartets and so on. And because of my OCD, I need to start from the first one. So I'm gonna start apparently in February. Stunning book. Another start of a series which I've heard mixed things about, and I honestly bought it because of the cover. It's A Natural History of Dragons, and it's another fantasy, I believe, and I'm gonna give it a try and see. This looks stunning. Now I have the special edition from Fairy Loot of the Hollow Heart. However, I don't own the first book, and when I acquired these, I didn't know it was the second book in a series. I consider to just buy the first one and read the first one, just in this case, but I don't have to read this one, basically, just because I'm not up to this point in the series. To Kill a Mockingbird is a classic, and I've read these already. Star Wars, William Shakespeare. These are like, it's a kind of a poem. It's like basically Star Wars retold in verses, and I've already read these. Never continue on. I don't think I will, but I love the cover. And then we have Alice by Christine Henry, which is a dark retelling of Alice in Wonderland. Fun enough, I just had to read another one, kind of darkish YA retelling, in January, but I've heard amazing things about this one. And Christina Henry, she does like dark retellings, so hopefully I will love this one. And yeah, I have to read this one. And then there are my stunning covers for, well, they're not in order, which is annoying. I'm gonna put that in order right now. So for The Diviners, and then you got Layer of Dreams and Before the Devil Breaks You, which are the stunning Australian covers, and I've read all of them, so I don't have to read them. Okay, actually, by going through the shelf, I realized that I cursed too early. That's a lesson for me, because at the end of the day, I don't have many from that shelf that I've not read, or because they were part of a series where I was not up to that point, I didn't have to read them. Here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and possibly 6, if I consider that I might want to read those Hollow Vows, if it makes sense. So I might acquire that one, just seems fair enough. And also I might have some leftover from January, let's see, when you see my wrap up, and also the graphic novels, but it seems doable. I think this was doable. It's doable, definitely doable. So first I got The Little Friend by Donna Tartt. This is gonna be, as I said, my first Donna Tartt, and I found this in a charity shop, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a story of this young girl. She's living with her family. Either family is a bit in disarray. Father has left, and her mother is, I think, chronically ill, and all of them are still suffering from the consequences of her brother disappearing mysteriously 12 years previously. And I think she just sets up with one of her friends to find out what happened to her brother. What started as almost like a game between children just to solve a mystery, it becomes very dark very quick, and I think we're gonna just find out what happens to the brother, and involves a small city mystery. It sounds amazing. It is written very small, so this is a big book. How many pages are here? Well, almost 550. And I would prefer to start with The Secret History of Donna Tartt, which is probably her most famous, or among those. I am, like, this sounds right up my alley. Like, I love mysteries and thrillers and crime, and it seems like this is gonna include that, so hopefully I'm gonna love this. Then I've got Alice by Christina Henry. This is based on Alice in Wonderland. I don't know if it includes like a trip to Wonderland or is just loosely inspired, but from the synopsis it seems like you are following this young woman who's in a mental health hospital. She's been there for a long time. She doesn't recall why she ended up there, what happened to her, and one day there is a fire in the mental health hospital and she manages to escape and she needs to go and find out what happened to her. I don't know anything else about these. It's very short and I've heard amazing things about these and I always wanted to try one of their dark retellings. I am okay with retellings. I'm not like it's not one of my buzzwords, retellings. And Alice in Wonderland, although I do like the book, it's not my favorite children classic by any means, but I'm curious. I've heard amazing things. It's time to read these. When we have Memories of a Geisha or Memoirs of a Geisha, and these, again, there is a famous movie that I've watched, and I think this is kind of historical fiction slash romance slash, it says, fairy tale from the back, and it's a debut novel of the author, and it basically tells the story of this geisha. And I don't know anything about geishas apart from, you know, tiny bits and pieces that I've heard through media or movies before. So I'm very curious to read these and discover more. And historical fiction is a genre that I don't read much, but when I do, I really enjoy. So hopefully this will be a win. Speaking of historical fiction, which are not true historical fiction, we have A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir by Lady Trent. So these, I think it's done like Lady Trent, who's a dragon naturalist. She recounts her story of her job and her going around the world and finding dragons and dragons' anatomy and studying them, I believe. I've heard from some people that this is extremely slow and that's why they didn't like it. However, I guess if the writing is stellar or if the writing is good and can still hold my attention because I love dragons, as many of us do, hopefully I will like these. Also, I'm be very sorry to have to get rid of this because the covers for this series are amazing. So I'm a bit hesitant when it comes down to this because I don't really do well with slow books a lot of the times. However, I might enjoy the writing enough to enjoy these. So let's see how it works. And then we have Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb. This is the start of a very famous series. I think it's made of different series and you don't have necessarily to read them in order. However, I tend to prefer to read them in order. I am fully aware that people who were okay with these ended up loving other trilogies, other parts of this companion series, however you want to call it. So I will kind of try to commit that even if I don't love the first trilogy, to just try and continue on, at least until the ship ones, because they're very famous ones. But hopefully the premise is not too bad. So the premise is that you got this young boy, Fitz. He is the bastard son of a prince who was shamed into abduction.
2,000 years later.
Who was shamed to abdication after he fathered his bastard son. So the king said, you know, you cannot inherit the throne. And I think Fitz then is kind of raised in the stables, is kind of frowned upon, like no one really wants him around. But he has an affinity with animals, and I don't know if his affinity with animals will help him save the kingdom. I think there is a war coming. I don't know. He's also Assassin's Apprentice, so I guess he's becoming an assassin at one point. I don't know, I'm just honestly speculating. But it's time for me to start this series. Has been in my possession for ages. It's time. And then apologies, because when I was looking at the Hollow Heart, actually this is a duology, I believe, hopefully, it's just a duology, by the same author who did the Winner trilogy. That I've read the first book and really didn't enjoy, so I gave up on that and never continued on. So this is completely a cover buy that I did on Fairyloot. And the first book, which I will have to read, is The Midnight Light. So I'm gonna give it a try. I'm gonna try and get my hands on these, hopefully very cheap. Maybe I can find it on Kindle and give it a try. I think it's fair enough because I got the second book, so I might as well read it. And I think this is a fantasy slash dystopian, if I'm correct. I might be wrong, don't quote me on these. But basically this duology takes place in the same world as the Winner trilogy, and it follows our main protagonist, who's kind of, again, poor, living in this society where only high-ranking people can enjoy things and can wear color or taste chocolate, and she can do none of that. And one day she meets this traveler who says that there is a way for them to kind of steal the magic, so they embark on this journey to find magic for themselves. The only thing I know about this is that it's LGBTQ. I guess we have a female romance, a sapphic romance. It's a YA and it's part of a trilogy from an author I didn't enjoy much before, so I'm gonna give it a try and see. But if I don't like it, I'm just gonna DNF it. Said that, I love the Fairyloot edition so much, I'm gonna just keep it. doesn't matter if I will never continue reading it. I know, judge me as much as you want, but I'm gonna give it a try. I think it's just fair enough for me to at least try. So now let's talk about the graphic novels that I'm gonna read. Let's start with the one that I'm less excited about, and which is maybe just me being biased because it's kind of a contemporary, but I've owned this for ages. I found it in a charity shop and I had heard other people enjoying it, so I wanted to try. Back then I was reading more contemporary, so I decided that it's time for me to read these, and if I don't like it I can donate these or sell these. And this is This One Summer. It did win a prize, and the art, I'm going to show you some of the art. It's all in blue and like white palette and like light pink, which I do enjoy. So this is a story with two girls. They've been friends throughout their lives and they always meet at the summer house, but this summer things are different because I think the parents of one of the girls are constantly fighting, probably getting divorced, and also they are involved in something that happens in the small town where these houses are. So I don't know, it looks like a contemporary, probably is, I can feel it's probably a 3 stars. I don't know, I just got this feeling that it's gonna be kind of meh, but I really hope I'm wrong. And if you've read these and you know about these, let me know in the comments down below. But I'm gonna give it a try. It's time for me to either keep it, love it, or get rid of it. Then I didn't know I owned these. I believed I had read this before and I didn't. This is Lady Mechanica, Volume 5, Le Belle Dame Sans Merci. I'm sorry, I'm butchering this name, of course, 'cause that's what I do, don't I? And this is a fantasy steampunk based on Victorian era, where you got your main protagonist, Lady Mechanica. She is basically trying to find what happened to her after she woke up one day and a mad scientist had taken away part of her body and put mechanical parts instead. So we kind of follow her through solving crimes at the same time, but also trying to figure out what happened to her, how she ended up on that mad scientist table to begin with, and now to be kind of a cyborg basically. And I love this series so far. The art is absolutely stunning. Like, can we appreciate? I saw on Goodreads that there is another volume out, so I might just go and purchase that very soon. And unfortunately after 2020 I didn't see any other installment, so I really hope they have not discontinued these. I'll get some information and probably tell you in the wrap up. Yeah, looking forward to continue this series. And finally, and I think that this one is the one that I'm definitely the most excited about, I've already Mechanica has a special place in my heart, but I am gonna read Berserk. This is the Omnibus Deluxe Edition, so this contains 3 volumes of Berserk. I have read Berserk, the first volume, the manga, before. I've done a challenge where I was reading the most disturbing manga ever written. I think if it's still on my channel, I'm gonna link it down below. So that's how I first came to engage with Berserk, and I always wanted to continue on and found these. So what I ended up doing was selling my 1 volume of Berserk I had and purchased the deluxe edition, which I'm gonna hopefully continue on with. The idea behind this is I'm gonna read these, and if I love it as much as I love the first volume, I'm gonna continue purchasing the deluxe edition and making my way through Berserk. Finger crossed, maybe I can do this year. I'm not sure how many deluxe editions are, but I think there are so many volumes. It can become very expensive very quickly. So this is, I would not know how to describe the story with. This is an adult fantasy manga, which is, I mean, it was part of my, the most disturbing manga ever written. So bloody violent. I don't remember, I would not be able to give you a synopsis like here. I think I need to reread these and then maybe in my wrap up I can. It's a very, very popular series that inspired video games, TV show, manga. There are not only violence but also sexual content, so just be aware of that. And yeah, I'm just so much looking forward to keep reading these. Okay, so here we have 5 books / 6 and 3 graphic content. It seems very much doable because I have some days off at the beginning of the month, so I'm gonna try and power through as many of these as possible. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you're reading in February. Let me know if you are familiar with any of these and what are your thoughts without spoilers. And I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself, guys. Ciao.